Welcome to opening day at Citi Field in New York. The Atlanta Braves are visiting for the first game of the season, taking on the New York Mets. We've got a nice pitching matchup here. I'm going to simulate this game. You got Noah Syndergaard on the mound, facing off against Julio Teheran. The Mets will be looking to get back to the playoffs this year after a one-game-and-done game last year against the San Francisco Giants in the wild card game. So here we go. First batter there was Ender Inciarte. He pops up to the shortstop for one down. You can see that Thor's on the mound. Now, Syndergaard supposedly bulked up this offseason because he wants to throw harder. I mean, the guy already throws about 99 to 100 miles an hour. I think he had the fastest overall average velocity for a fastball last season of all starting pitchers, and he just wants to get better and better. So it could be scary to think of what he's capable of. All right, and here you see the Grandy Man. That's Curtis Granderson, who is a few years removed from his heyday when he was with the Yankees and hitting all those home runs. He had a couple seasons where he was around 40 home runs or so, playing with that short porch over in Yankee Stadium. And the Mets are going to rely on him to man center field this year. So you can probably bet that the Mets outfield defense is going to be below league average. They're going to have Cespedes in left, who Cespedes has a fantastic arm. You've all seen the throws where he can stand out at the foul pole and fire a ball into third base on like a line. You've got Granderson, who's in center, who's getting up there in age a little bit. He's in his mid-30s now, and he's going to have to cover a lot of ground out there in center field. Here he's going to track this one down. That's going to be the final out of the inning. And over in right field, you've got Jay Bruce. Speaking of Jay Bruce, here he is. Bruce kind of suffers from some bad knees. He's had knee issues in the past. Hopefully he stays healthy this year. Looked like he was motoring down the line pretty well right there. Bruce is a guy that's he's up and down. He's had some really good seasons where he'll hit you around 30 home runs, and other seasons where he kind of struggles to hit 20 and bat like 240. Here's the real deal, Neil Walker, who's from Pittsburgh, which is where I'm from. I'm a Pirates season ticket holder, so I got to see Neil Walker play a bunch of games for about 5 or 6 years when he was with the Pirates. He's a really great player. He's gritty. He's not the greatest fielder. He makes the plays that are presented to him. He doesn't have a whole ton of range at second base, but he's serviceable. Now, the thing about the Mets infield is it's a little bit older. You've got Jose Reyes, who's in his 30s at third base, and he's playing for David Wright. David Wright, as you probably know, is kind of really banged up. I don't really know if we'll ever see him play a full season again. He had spinal stenosis, and it came out over spring training that he hadn't even picked up a baseball since like last June. So I feel bad for the guy. He's really seen his career just kind of slip away here. Hopefully he can get back to being even a fraction of what he was, because he's the heart and soul of this team. At shortstop, you've got Asdrubal Cabrera. Cabrera also is a little bit up there in age, a little bit past his heyday when he was with the Indians. Walker's in his early 30s. And then at first base, you have Lucas Duda. Duda's a big guy. Hopefully he bops about 30 to 40 homers this year for the Mets. Kind of feel like he's going to hit for a low average. And behind the plate, you have Travis d'Arnaud. d'Arnaud had a miserable season last year. Really think the Mets probably should have went out and signed Matt Wieters if they could have afforded him. All right, well, the game is still 0-0. There you see Freddie Freeman's strikeout. So let's talk about predictions real quick. Matt Kemp strikes out. I've got the Mets going to the playoffs. Personally, I'm predicting them to finish second place and take a wild card spot. If I had to guess, I would say probably the second wild card. I think the Giants are also going to get a wild card this year, so a rematch of the 2016 wild card game looks like it's in the cards if I'm correct. And the reason I think the Mets are going to get there is I believe their offense is average to above average, and their real strength is their pitching. Now, their starting rotation is deep. There's a couple question marks. Syndergaard is obviously lights out. Then there's Jacob deGrom. He's a number 2. On any other team, he'd be a number 1. You also have Matt Harvey. Don't forget, Matt Harvey's coming off an injury, so hopefully he can be healthy this year. He had thoracic outlet surgery, so not a whole lot of players have come back from that, so we'll have to see how he does. Now, when I say a lot of players haven't come back from that, I just mean there's not a whole big sample size. Like with Tommy John surgery, you pretty much know that everyone comes back from, between 12 and 16 months, and they're usually throwing harder than when before they had Tommy John. But thoracic outlet, we don't really know. Some players have had it. Some players never came back. Other players had some success, but there's just not a whole bunch of them. Now, some people think that if Harvey does come back and is his old self, that the Mets might look to trade him just because they have so much depth in their rotation. They also have Robert Gesellman, who's had a pretty decent season last year. He pitched like 44 innings, but had a really nice earned run average in the 2s. They've got Seth Lugo. They've got Zach Wheeler. So the Mets are stocked with rotation depth. Their bullpen is also decent. Now, you probably know that Joris Familia has a 15-game suspension for beating his wife, allegedly. And they also have some nice setup guys in there like Jerry Blevins and also Addison Reed. So I really like the Mets pitching. Well, if we look at this game, this would be a really exciting game to be at because it's 0-0 in the 9th inning. Noah Syndergaard went 8 innings. Now, I didn't show you a couple of the innings just because they were like 3 up, 3 down. And I try to keep all these videos to be within the range of at least 10 to 15 minutes, no more than 15 minutes. So the Mets are going to try to walk it off here. It's the 9th inning. Really what we need is some base runners. And looks like Granderson is not going to help the cause. He puts one out there. It looks like he might have been trying to end it, but that's just going to be caught. How crazy would it be, by the way, to catch a walk-off home run with everyone going crazy? You have the ball. Probably everyone around you is like going nuts and high-fiving you. That would be something that would be really fun to experience. I've never caught a walk-off home run. I've caught several home runs over my years of ball hawking. Most recently, I got a Mike Napoli home run last year. A lot of the times I don't end up staying for the games because I have a family of soon-to-be 4 kids. So I usually stop off at batting practice after work and then leave and come home and have dinner and have some time with the kids. So not a lot of opportunities for me to stay at the game and chase down home runs, but it is fun. Citi Field is actually one of the worst fields for ball hawking. A lot of members of the ball hawking community pretty much shy away from Citi Field as much as possible. For starters, it opens late. I believe that when the gates open, by the time they open, all the Mets are off the field. So really you get there and you get to see basically the visitors' batting practice. And the outfield layout is really just not conducive for getting baseballs. You have overhangs on both sides of the field. Over in left field, you have an overhang pretty much all the way around, which means you have to be within the first 8 or so rows to catch a home run ball. And guess what? Those rows get pretty crowded during batting practice, so you're kind of confined to a small space. And the less range you have and the more people there are, the less chance you have to get baseballs. Same thing over in right field. Right field's even way worse. The overhang pretty much completely covers up the seats, so to get a ball over there, it basically has to be a line drive BB into the seats. So if you're going to go to right field, it's best to go up in the second deck for a big power hitter that can put them up there. The seats out in center field, the apple seats, I guess they're called, those are really far away from home plate, so it's going to take a shot to even get it out there. So overall, just not the most fun place to go and get a baseball. If you follow me on YouTube, or subscribe to me, I should say, you'll see a lot of videos this season where I run around batting practice and catch baseballs, mostly at PNC Park and Progressive Field, but I also do take some road trips throughout the summer when I'm off work and hit up some other stadiums. Now here's Joris Familia. Now he's the closer. This is not a safe situation, so it's really, anytime there's a closer that comes in a non-safe situation, it seems like at least half the time they end up blowing the game. Like, take a look at this. We're in trouble. First and third, nobody out, and there it is. The Braves take the lead. There's a base hit right inside third base. And Joris Familia, he's not going to get a blown save just because it's not a safe situation when he came in. Well, he might kind of limit the damage at least. There's a double play. We really needed that. Let's see if he can keep it to 1 run or less. That's going to be caught. Granderson's going to get there. Covering a little ground out there is the Grandy man. And now I need to get at least 1 to tie, and I have to do it against their closer. Jim Johnson is the Braves closer, and it's the 12th inning. So Granderson lines out. It would have been nice if that could have been a hit. Here's Cespedes. If anyone's going to hit a home run, it's going to be the middle of the lineup. I might be able to stretch this one into a triple. It's an easy double. They're having some trouble out in center field. That's going to be a triple, maybe a double and an error. But nonetheless, I've got the tying run on third base, and there's only one out. All right, let's see if Jay Bruce can walk it off. He's not going to walk it off, but he's going to tie it. That one's up the middle. It's going to get the whole way to the wall. So the center fielder out there is having some trouble. Who is that? Ender Inciarte. That's two balls that he kind of misplayed and let get by him. Kind of resulted in probably an extra base on both of them. And Cabrera with a base hit. I'm going to send Bruce. This is for the win. Oh, he's out. That was so close. I had to send him. Man, Bruce, if you ran like one rating higher on this game, you would have scored. Dang. All right, so we're going to continue on. Jay Bruce gets cut down at the plate, and now we're into, what inning even is this? I think it's like the 13th inning here. Is this game ever going to end? It will end eventually, just hopefully the Mets win it. There's a pop-up. Jay Bruce kind of took a weird route on that one. Sometimes that happens, and when I'm trying to control the infielder to go back and catch it, it switches over to the outfielder, and then my outfielder starts breaking back. Kind of annoying, but have to deal with it. So 2 outs. They have a runner on first base. Let's see if we can get out of it here. Looks like Jose Reyes is going to take this one, and we're out of the inning. We have another chance to walk it off. We're getting a little bit deeper into their bullpen now. Mauricio Cabrera. To be honest, I don't even know who this guy is. And looks like he gets the first out there, so he throws pretty hard. He was throwing me some fastballs that were up around 100 miles an hour, so this guy definitely can bring it. So guys like that, you just got to gear up for it. And there's a base hit. So I've got a runner on first base. Now, I'm going to have to pinch hit here. The pitcher spot is coming up. All right, well, I'm going to go with Wilmer Flores. All I need is a base hit here, and he's not going to get the job done. Looks like he might have been trying to end it there, taking it over that right field wall. There are 2 outs, and Jose Reyes with a base hit. Should I send him? No, I'm not going to send him. That's Travis d'Arnaud. Go back. If anyone was faster, I should have had a pinch runner in. I was looking over the options that I had. The fastest runner was only marginally faster than Travis d'Arnaud, so I just didn't think it was worthwhile taking my starting catcher out of the game. So we're on to the 14th. This game might never end. 1-1 still. Dansby Swanson has struck out like 4 times today. He's like 0 for 5 or 6. Poor guy. And here's Freddie Freeman. He's always dangerous, but I have the lefty-on-lefty matchup. He strikes out, and we go to the bottom of the 14th. So I think we just had the second 7-inning stretch, or the 14th inning stretch. If you've ever been in a Major League Baseball game that goes 14 or more innings, typically in the 14th inning, kind of like almost as a joke, they always do the 14th inning stretch where they play Take Me Out to the Ball Game again. And Jay Bruce strikes out again on a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Here's Cabrera. That's going to be a base hit, so still have a little bit of life. We've had some base runners here in these really, really late innings, and we're just looking for a walk-off. There's going to be another hit. Oh no, what did I do? I hit the wrong button. I've got 2 guys on second base. You have got to be kidding me. I don't even know what to say. I know what you're doing right now. I know, I didn't do it on purpose. I'm trying to win this game. I swear I'm trying to win this game. It seems like every game I have one kind of brain fart where I just mess up something. And right there, I forgot that I had another runner on base, and I had 2 guys on second base, basically. And let's just hope that I can get out of this inning here and have another shot at it. So it's the 15th inning. And Lucas Duda, that might go. Lucas Duda. There it is. Mets win. Home run. Lucas Duda finally wins the game. Brian Snitker, their manager, can't believe it. That one hurts for the Braves. Can see all the Mets are at home plate. Wait for them. All right, everybody, that's the game. Mets win on opening day. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'll have more of these baseball videos, and I do a ton of videos once the baseball season really gets underway. I go to 100 games a year, and I film every game I go to. See you next time.